Have you been back or?
I'll see. I'm on live. Yo, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on, brothers and sisters? Shalom to everybody out there. What's going on with you? Thank everybody for tuning in. This is going to be a awesome conversation. It's going to be an awesome lesson. It's going to be an awesome lesson. I think we need to talk about 501c3. It is very important because of so much that I've been seeing over the last, I guess, 2 or 3 years. You know, people and, you know, certain things that they say. And you can always tell by something that someone says where they got it from, especially if you've been, yeah, Ralph, you can always tell where they got it from just by when you do the proper research of things and whatnot. You can always, you know, just see where people get things from. Saying, no, go sit down. Okay, go sit down. Go sit down. Close the door. Close the door. Majority of the people who say this, you can tell that a lot of the talking points, hey, shalom, everybody. You could tell a lot of things where they get it from. Oftentimes it traces right back to YouTube because of something someone said and not because of something that they researched. So I want to try to be able to do everything I can to keep brothers and sisters out of bearing false witness, because that's going to get a lot of people in trouble. All right, saying things that they haven't properly researched, and because one of their favorite YouTube teachers said it, or someone on Facebook said it, it is, you know, that becomes the problem with what people are saying. So it's important for us to really look at this, man, really get an understanding of it. Listen, this is one of those videos where I just tell you guys to share it, to invite people. Some of you probably have had people on the timeline, and you heard a lot about 501c3s. You heard a lot about that, you know, the reason why the Christian church is not teaching the truth is because a 501c3 won't let them teach the truth, and you know, all of these things like that. So it's important for us to get an understanding of really what's going on, because many of you, you know, many brothers and sisters don't even take out the time to study, let alone, you know, read through, you know, the information on government website or any information on pretty much anything, because we become so lazy in so many things to where we just like to for people to tell us everything and not do the proper study and the proper research to finding out really what's going on. So I'm going to tackle this today, and this is just something that is very important. I think that it needs to be an end to. There's a lot of things that need to be put an end to. I mean, and so I pray that the Father really, you know, use me today to really get this information. I'm not going into the Bible. I'm not going to read anything out of the Bible today. This is an informative conversation of something that you need to know, so maybe you can stop saying certain things that may not be true. And so let's really get an understanding. Let's look at this thing here, and we go from there, okay? So it's very important for this. Definitely like, share, invite people to check this out and tune in, because you're probably gonna be surprised at some things, and therefore you won't go back, you know, empty-handed without having some knowledge or understanding of some of the things that's going on. All right. So this is important. All right. So the question is, or the statement that is always constantly made, is that the 501c3 status allows people to be pimped. The 501c3 status allows people to make purchases of certain things to benefit them personally. The 501c3 status is stopping people from, shalom to all of you, stopping people from teaching the truth because they're afraid they're going to lose their 501c3 status if they teach heritage. So these are the statements, these are the claims that are being made. And I think that our brothers and sisters need to kind of do some research and not listen to somebody who's on Facebook or on YouTube, okay? So it's very important to get this understood, all right? So we're going to go through this information, documents, and whatnot. I've tried to separate some of this as much as possible without going to reading a whole lot of everything, but to try to give you a understanding of what's going on within the 501c3, because again, it's one of those practical things that if you have no understanding of, you could actually, cause a spiritual problem for yourself, and part of bearing false witness, which is a no-no that we do with the scriptures, that we should not do according to the Torah. So let's look at this. If any of them don't nobody know what bearing false witness is, it's lying. And so lying on people, just to sum it up, saying all kind of stuff out the side of your neck. So let's look at this right here and let's deal with this claim about the 501c3. All right, so I'm on the government website. You can go on the government website and, just go to your Google and search 501c3 rules and information or how to apply for a 501c3, and it's going to give you the form and all that information. Or you can go right on the government website. You can go on IRS. You can go on any of the Fed's website. What's going on, Sister Rosalind? All right, so let's look at this. All right, so let's read here. We're going to read this here, dealing with this 501c3. And let's see if the 501c3 stopped you from teaching the truth or teaching heritage or whatnot. All right, so let's look at this. I'm going to read here. It says a church is a place of worship, such as a synagogue, mosque, or temple. Okay, so let's get that understood. Let's deal with this from the top. Okay, let's deal with this from the top. All right. A church is a place of worship, such as a synagogue, okay, which many will refer to as the Jewish people, okay, some of the Ashkenazis, a mosque, meaning Muslims, okay, or temple, which would be referring to Hindus, Buddhists, all these type of people, all right, all these type of people, all right, all these type of people. So we got to get an understanding that this is already starting off letting you know if the 501c3 is stopping you from teaching the truth, then according to the Jewish folks, okay, their teaching is the truth. According to the mosque, the Muslims, their teachings are the truth. According to the Hindus and the Buddhists and everybody else, their teachings are the truth, not just the Hebrews. Okay, everybody believe that their truth is truth. So if that's the case, then can't nobody have no 501c3. All right, if that's the case, we're gonna deal with this now. We need to stop all this YouTubing and listen to these cats on YouTube. Shout out to Brother Berean. What's going on? We got to stop this stuff, man. The folks on YouTube and Facebook gonna get you in trouble, man. Y'all need to stop this stuff, okay? This stuff is blatantly out here, and it gives you the rules to certain things when it comes down to dealing with the 501c3. All right? So let's keep reading it. Look what it says. So we know church dealing with Christianity or whatnot. So let's keep reading. All right, I'm going to start off reading it again. A church is a place of worship, such as a synagogue, mosque, or temple. Churches are automatically considered 501c3 charities as long as they meet the criteria required by the IRS and continually adhering to the 501c3 requirements. Now let's keep reading. A religious organization is not automatically a place of worship, all right, like a church is. So a religious organization can be somebody who says that they, feed the homeless, but it don't necessarily have to be a place of worship. You know what I'm saying? So you can have like homeless shelters and stuff like that that don't necessarily classify themselves as a place of worship or a church, but they could be a religious organization. I mean, they subscribe to some form of religion. Okay. Shalom to everybody. Let's keep reading. A religious organization is generally a non-denominational or interdenominational organization and has a principal purpose of advancing religion. All right. So according to the IRS, what identifies a religious organization? A religious organization is one form and operated exclusively for religious purposes. And it must actively promote the advancement of its religion via various activities. Okay. Now let's get into this tax exempt, this non-profit stuff that, brothers be talking about, reason why I can't teach the truth. And they using your money in church to buy all this kind of personal stuff. You know what I'm saying? It'll be a whole lot of folk going to jail if they taking the church money and going out and buying airplanes and all this kind of stuff. If it was their personal money, it'd be a lot of people going to jail. I'm telling y'all right now. Okay. It'll be a lot of people going to jail because do you know that the doggone IRS, when they want to audit you, all right, or they want to come in and check your books, they don't have to send you no letter. They don't have to call you on the phone. They don't have to do nothing. They just show up at your spot. Hey, look, we need to see your records right now. We need to see your records right now. Do y'all think that if some of these folks was taking your money and going out and buying houses with them, you don't think the IRS know what's going on? Yeah, man, who do y'all think y'all dealing with? Okay, the I to the R to the S. You go out here and you go buy yourself. You go out here and buy a house. All right, go out here and buy a house if you want to, and use money that was given in the collection plate, and see what happened. See what happened. All right. This ain't something I know. This ain't defending no type of religion. All right. This telling y'all the straight facts and truth. All right. So y'all need to make sure y'all get informed. The problem is we got too much that we trying to be informed biblically and not understanding practical elements and information of things that in this world. Okay. It's practical to pay your light bill. Okay. All right. That's practical. You can't pray to the Most High. Hey, look, you didn't do right with your funds, but yet you want to go out here and spend money that you didn't have and then ask Christ to touch somebody's heart that they'll keep your lights on. That ain't going to work. You know what I'm saying? It's a practical principle to these things that y'all not adhering to. All right. So let's keep reading. Look what it says right here, man. All right. Let's read this. All right. The organization cannot attempt to influence legislation. Boom. That's what you need to understand about what a 501c3 is. All right. It ain't got nothing to do with doctrine. Let me say that again. Let me say that again for y'all. For y'all that didn't hear in the back, in the front, in the middle, or anywhere else. All right. Or anywhere else. Let me read that again for you. All right. In order to be considered tax exempt, a religious organization must meet certain federal requirements. What is the federal requirements that these organizations must meet? The organization cannot attempt to influence legislation. Now, here go my problem, though. Here go my problem with some of the religious organizations, especially primarily the Christian church. Here's my problem when it comes down to this practical thing here. I don't feel that it's properly correct. Okay. I don't think it's properly correct. All right. For y'all to be having voting machines in the church. All right. Now I'm just saying, man, everybody know that I'm an Israelite. Okay. Y'all already know I don't choose sides. I bang on Christians. I bang on Hebrews. Anybody can get it if you're wrong. But y'all Christians need to stop this. I don't feel as though it is proper to have voting machines in your church. I'm just telling you right now. That's just my opinion, okay? That's my opinion. This don't have nothing to do with no doctrine, okay? Let's get that understood. 501c3 has nothing to do with no doctrine, okay? Let me read it again for those who didn't hear me the first time, because I got some folks just joining. Let's see what these tax-exempt criteria are. In order to be considered tax-exempt, a religious organization must meet certain federal requirements. The organization cannot attempt to influence legislation. Now, this ain't got nothing to do with no doctrine. These people, I just read for y'all, all right, earlier, about 5 minutes ago, that you got folks who are Buddhists, Muslims, Hebrews, Jewish folks. All right, everybody feel like they truth is the truth. So this don't have nothing to do with you teaching the truth. Okay, this has nothing to do with you teaching no truth. 501c3 has nothing to do with why the pastor not teaching heritage and all this other stuff. I'm going to get into that too in a minute. All right, but I just want to lay this foundation for y'all. All right, and I'm showing you, all you got to do is go on the government website. It's right there in your face in black and white. You got a primary source in your face, okay? And the problem is we don't read. We reading everything else except the practical elements of things, okay? Let's get an understanding. Let's keep reading. Look what it says. You can't influence legislation. So my opinion is I don't think that it needs to be any voting machines in the church. Let them folks go vote somewhere else. Okay. That's just me. Okay. It may be some folk that don't agree with me, but I'm just telling you my opinion. Okay. This is my opinion. And this is what I ride. It's what I'm rocking with. I don't think there need to be no voting machines up in the church. Okay. Here's another thing that I personally don't get down with. Okay? Personally, I don't get down with. I don't feel as though you got candidates such and such who running for governor, mayor, running for the sheriff department, whoever else. They don't need to be in your church in the pulpit, especially when your homeboy who started the church with you, he ain't got a chance to preach at all. He can't even sit in the pastor's seat. And yet you got sheriff such and such, you got congresswoman such and such, and you got doggone Republican commissioner for taxation and all this other stuff. He get a chance to come right up in the church. He don't come down. He's not a regular visitor. He ain't even a member of the church. But he get red carpet rolled right on in, and he go right up there in the pulpit, and pastor move right to the side and let him sit in his chair when nobody can sit in the pastor's chair. But all of a sudden, he get to get up, and he get to stand up in there and get to talk about this and talk. Come on, that is a form, even though if you don't come out and say, vote for this guy, by simply even having him stand in the pulpit is a form of you even saying, hey, vote for this guy. But of course, you know, you got those loopholes type things like that. All right. But the 501c3 has nothing to do with that for its doctrine. Now, I don't agree. Again, you have voting machines in your church or somebody campaigning and coming in, they running for this and running for that. I don't rock with that. I don't rock with that at all. I just think that's just double-minded. I think that gets people in a lot of trouble. And so they ain't coming up in my church. I'm telling you right now, I ain't having nobody running for no office coming up in my church. All right. That's somebody else. You know, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Ain't no voting machines coming up and boom. Ain't none of that stuff coming. No, we ain't rocking with that. All right. But that's the way I do things at our house. All right. But let's look at this right here. The organization cannot attempt to influence legislation, and it must not be involved with or intervene in political activity or campaigns. See that? And the organization must be exclusively started and run for the religious, educational, scientific, or other charitable purposes in order to be considered 501c3 tax exempt. Okay, let's keep reading here. These are the requirements, all right, that a religious organization or a church must adhere to in order to be considered tax exempt. This ain't said nothing about no. Where do y'all get this from? Where do y'all get this stuff about doctrine? This ain't said nothing about no doctrine. Where y'all get that stuff from? I know where you got it from. YouTube. Y'all some YouTube scholars, man. Y'all some Facebook followers, YouTube scholars, and y'all listen to these folks, man. These folks be talking all kind of crazy. Let me tell you something. Half of these folks talking about, yeah, when I was in the church, half of these folks weren't even an usher. Okay, let's talk about that. Okay, let's talk about all these folks that y'all listening to talking about, yeah, when I was in church, These folks wasn't even an usher, man. These folks only showed up. Some of these folks, they ain't come to none of the events. They ain't come to none of the meetings. They wasn't even a part of leadership. Okay? I don't want to talk to nobody about nothing that went on in the church if they were not even a part of leadership. If you weren't even a volunteer, okay? Let's get that straight. Don't tell me about nothing what was going on in the church, because guess what? It's another talking point that everybody want to use to get people into them, to making them think that they know something or they care about something. All right, let's stop this madness. If you have never served in a church, and I'm talking about the pastor know you. Okay, I'm talking about some deacons. Somebody need to know you. I ain't talking about somebody know your mama. Okay, because generally your mom and your daddy was more dedicated to the church than many of y'all that be talking about, oh, when I was in the church. Okay, all this kind of stuff. I can tell that you was never a part of the church. I'm talking about heavily involved in the church because of the way you talk and some of the stuff you say. Some of the stuff the way you talk and some of the stuff you say, I can tell you was never a part of the church. Okay, let's just stop this. Okay, you showed up on Easter. You showed up on Christmas. All right. You showed up on the Thanksgiving message. You know what? You showed up on watch night. That was it. Nobody seen you. And it was hit and miss if you did show up on watch night. It was hit and miss because you probably was at the club. Okay. Let's stop this, man. You was bringing in the club the right way. Okay. According to you being at the club. Now on Easter, you was there heavily. You was there heavily because you know why? Because you want to show off your little girl or your kid or your son Easter suit or Easter basket, or they probably was in the Easter play. Okay, that's the only time you showed up. Other than that, we can go ask them. Hey, do you know such a? No, I don't know him. Oh, that's James and Willie Mae's son. That's James and Willie Mae. Oh, yeah. You talking about that boy? Oh, yeah, I saw that boy. He came around here. Yeah, he came around. He was here. The last time I seen him was on the Easter program 20 years ago. Okay, his child was on the Easter program. That's it. All right, all this other stuff, we need to stop this stuff, man. We got to stop. We got to put a hold on this madness. All right, let's keep reading. Look what it says right here. Because y'all out here bearing false witness, and we need to stop that. We need to get educated. And the organization must be exclusively run by religious, educational, scientific, or other charitable purposes in order to be considered 501c3 tax exempt. These are the requirements that a religious organization or a church must adhere to in order to be considered tax exempt. Now let's look at some examples here. I mean, we're gonna deal with four of these. We're gonna deal with 5 of these points here in which are required for you to deal with. Okay, the organization must be organized and operated exclusively for religious or other charitable purposes. That's 1. 2, the net earnings must not benefit any private individual. Let's stop right there. Let's hold right here. For y'all talking about all this crazy stuff about, yeah, man, he taking the money and he buying him, he buying this and he buying that, man. Stop this, man. That joker be under the jail. Okay? That joker be under the jail. Stop this stuff. All right? If you done any proper research, you already know. You should already know that the IRS, they send people posing as members in the church to see where the money going. Y'all, man, that's why when I sit there and I be listening to these cats, I be like, and then I see somebody share it. Then I see somebody post, yeah, that's right, that's right. They taking our money, they using our money. You know, he's sitting up there, man, him and his wife and kids, they going on trips with the money. Man, come on, listen. You cannot use charitable funds for private individual fund. Okay, you can't use that. You can't do that. Okay, you might get away with it for a little while. They gonna get you behind, straight up. Because guess what? Every time you spend a dime, when they come in that sucker, they want to know where every down to the red penny went. They want to know. They want to know every. Why did you use this for this? Okay, yeah, I saw 5 cents being used. What did this 5 cents go to? All this kind of stuff. These folks want to know this stuff, man. All right, they ain't trying to let nobody slip up and get by. All right, they're not trying to let nobody slip up and get by at all, period. Because they already know they scheming, okay? Or trying to scheme or whatever. All right, so let's deal with this. Number 2, the net earnings must not benefit any private individuals. Notice, you as a, we have to understand, organizations, you can't sit up here and say, you see, some of y'all got that Mitt Romney theology. Y'all got that Mitt Romney stuff. Mitt Romney said organizations are people. Where's that at? Mitt lost the campaign with that nonsense. And y'all saying the same thing. Organizations are people because they take and spend the money on themselves. That's crazy. That's that Mitt Romney. Y'all got that from Mitt Romney. I can't believe it. There's a whole lot of y'all around here talking about y'all not a part of the government, but y'all listen to Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney one came out with that nonsense a couple of years ago when he was running to my organizations are people, companies are people, brother, and all this kind of stuff. Stop that stuff, man. Stop that stuff. That's some craziness that he said. All right. He probably lost the race on that foolishness. All right. Everybody was like, man, what are you talking about? All right. What are you talking about? All right. So let's keep reading. Look what it says right here. It says the net earnings must not benefit any private individual or shareholder exclusively. Let's keep reading. No substantial part of the organization's activity may be the attempt to influence legislation. All right. The organization cannot intervene in political campaigns. The organization's purpose and action cannot be legal or violate fundamental public policy. Okay, let's see here, man. Let's keep reading. Let's get some more here. All right. Now I'm finna show y'all something. Y'all say that the reason why church ain't teaching the truth because they tax exempt, because they 501c3, right? That's what y'all say. Let me show y'all something here, though. Let me show y'all something. I want to show y'all something real quick right here. Okay. Do y'all see that name on my screen? Do y'all see this name? What is the name on this screen? Huh? Can somebody tell me what this is? Can somebody tell me? Can somebody tell me who that is? Who is that on my screen? Y'all say that the reason why these churches ain't teaching the truth is because of their 501c3 status. I'm trying to make sure somebody do anybody know who that name is on my screen? I just want an answer. I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna even go any further. Okay, until somebody put it up on the screen. That's what I want y'all to do. So y'all can stop regurgitating this craziness out here, okay? So y'all can stop regurgitating this craziness. Uh-oh, Beat Bros, IUIC. Uh-oh, IUIC. What does that say on the IUIC's name? But I thought that 501c3 stopped you from teaching the truth. Now, I don't get down with IUIC when they come down to their doctrine, all of their doctrine. I don't agree with all of their doctrine. But guess what? IUIC is 501c3. So maybe it's something deeper, or maybe it's another reason why these folks not teaching the truth, as you say, okay? Maybe it has nothing to do with 501c3. I just read y'all some of the rules. Okay, and IUIC is 501c3 nonprofit organization. Okay, let's keep rolling here. Look what it says right. We on the website right here. Look at this right. The address: Area United in Christ, P.O. Box, Newburgh, New York. Let's keep reading. They go their tax ID number right there. Bam. Okay, just for y'all who in the back who didn't hear me. Okay. Just for many of y'all in the back who didn't hear me, because y'all think that 501c3 stops somebody from teaching the truth, and your partner who told you, who you be watching on YouTube, who be sending you all the YouTube videos, or heard somebody else say it, and therefore y'all use it as just a talking point, all right, to benefit yourself. Let's stop this, okay? Let's get informed of what's going on. Look at this. 501. Wait a minute. What are they identified as? Christian. Classifies an exempt Internal Revenue Code 501c3 organization, and they are identified as Christian. Okay, identified as Christian. There it is right there. All right. There it is right there. There it is right there. All right. It don't matter, Kelvin. It don't matter if you are independent or 501c3. They don't dictate what you teach. Okay, they don't dictate that. It has nothing to do with doctrine. All right. Who is that on the screen? Can anybody else? Do anybody know who this is? Does anybody know who this is on the screen right here? I'm just waiting on somebody to put it up on the screen. Who else 501c3? I mean, I could have went down and pulled all your top camps or Hebrew congregations. I could pull all of that up. 501c3. I thought 501c3 was stopping the pastor from teaching the truth. Keep trying to tell y'all, man. Y'all need to stop listening. I'm telling y'all, y'all listen to these dudes if y'all want to, man. Y'all keep listening to these dudes if y'all want to. These dudes gonna send y'all to hell. Some of y'all gonna, some folk ain't gonna make it because of false doctrine, because of bearing false witness against folks. All right, this has nothing to do. All right, once again, let's keep rolling it down. Let's roll it down again. Let's get some more. All right, let's see it. There it is. ISUPK. All right, there it is. Tax ID number, EIN tax ID. What are they identified as? There it goes. Charitable organization, Christian. They are identified as Christian under their taxonomy. All right, under their taxonomy. Y'all better stop listening. I'm telling y'all, man, y'all gonna get enough of listening to these folks spreading this stuff, man. Y'all just say anything, spreading this stuff, or this stuff, you can't, they ain't teaching the truth, because they got that 501c3. They ain't teaching the truth, because they got that 501c3. Man, y'all stop this stuff, okay? I just showed you 2 of the top Hebrew Israelite camps that's out here, all right? And I ain't even pull all of them. I got to pull GOCC. I got to pull it. I got to put a whole lot of folks. I didn't do that. I just want to show you 2 of the ones that you know about, okay? And show you the 501c3 has nothing to do with you teaching the truth. All right? That's some stuff that y'all heard from, from Jacob, Israel, or, who else got Yosef, Yashahala, somebody that done talking crazy, man, that hasn't done proper research or have any type of organizational skills or anything, and they just around here just talking all kind of crazy. Okay, talking all kind of crazy. You gotta stop this stuff, man. This stuff gonna get y'all in trouble, man. This stuff is gonna get y'all in trouble. This stuff gonna get y'all in trouble, man. Y'all gotta stop this stuff, man. Gotta stop that. But they don't like using the word Christian. Exactly. It's on their tag form though. That's what I'm saying. Y'all, man, y'all better stop this stuff, man. Y'all, man, I'm telling y'all, man. Some of y'all gonna get dealt with, boy, I'm telling you. Sitting right here talking all kind of crazy. Okay. So we already read here where it says that you cannot use, all right, you can't use monies that is brought into the organization or church or religious organization, all right? You can't use that for personal need, all right? It's against the IRS 501c3 code, all right? It's against the 501c3 code. So all this stuff about folks using monies and all that kind of stuff, man, stop this stuff, man. All right, let's stop it. Let's stop saying this. All right, let's stop this. Come up with something else, okay? I mean, this stuff get used and said like the same talking points of Deuteronomy 28. Okay, if you can't prove, all right, who the people of the book are without Deuteronomy, if they take Deuteronomy 28 from most of y'all will lose y'all mind. Y'all lose y'all mind, seriously. You can't prove nowhere else in the scripts. All right, so we got to stop this stuff. All right, let's read some more here. Let's see here. All right, we're gonna deal with let's deal with some of the revenue thing here. All right. Misappropriating money. All right. Let's deal with this right here. Let's deal with these two types of funds. All right. You got two types of funds when you're dealing with a 501c3. All right. Let's look at this here, man. All right. Oh, yeah. Kenneth Wilson, CPA. What's going on, brother? What's going on with you, man? We definitely got to link up, man. You in Atlanta, man. We ain't linked up yet. All right. We supposed to linked up. Ben's supposed to linked up, Kenneth. All right. So let's look here, man. I could add 1 million more facts to it. Hey, man, I'm going to have you come on, Kenneth. I'm going to have you come on this joint, man. All right? I'm going to have you come on this joint. We're going to do a live together on this, all right? Folks, I'm telling you, they be listening to these cats, man. Kenneth, these cats be talking crazy, man. All right? These cats be talking so sideways. I'm like, man, our people in trouble, man. They in trouble. You can't speak from your pain, man. You need to get delivered. All right. That's our problem. We have not been delivered. All right. That's our problem. That's why we teach out of pain and anger and hurt. And then you just throw out all kind of sideways craziness and all this kind of stuff. We can't do that, man. I'm not saying ignore and forget history. But what I'm saying is, man, you got to be careful with some of the stuff you spewing out that is not true. Now, let's deal with these two types of funds, all right? For example, all right, let's deal with the two types of funds. Suppose things are tight in the soup kitchen. So it gives you an example. There is not enough cash in the general operating fund to buy all the food that is needed for this upcoming Christmas season. There is, however, a pretty good chunk of cash sitting in the fund designated for building a new facility. So guess what? Here we go. Listen to this. So they have a ministry dealing with feeding the homeless. All right. Taking care of people who are less fortunate. So you have to make sure that you have funds appropriated for that particular part of ministry. Then you have to have another fund. All right. If you have a building fund, your building fund has to be separate from the feeding the homeless. Okay. And clothing the sick, or you may have another type of ministry in there. You can't have one fund allocated to all of this stuff if you having 2 or 3 separate ministries in your congregation. Okay, so let's help our brothers and sisters who think somebody taking money from here and doing all this kind of stuff. Okay, so you run out of funds. Okay, over here in the soup kitchen. Okay, of feeding the homeless. All right. And you got the building fund. You got a whole lot of money over here. You can get your behind in trouble if you pull money from the building fund. Okay. You better have a real deal reason that the IRS, okay, is if they audit you, you better make sure that you have a thorough reason why you took money from the building fund and put it into the soup kitchen or the feed the homeless fund or whatever like that. Okay, you need to make sure that you have this thing set. All right, because if you don't, they gonna get you. You gonna get fined like a mug. You might go to jail. All right, just by taking money from the building fund. So when some cats be like, yeah, man, yeah, he took all your tithe money and he went out here and he bought a Bentley. He took all your tithe money and we got out here and bought a Rolls Royce. He took all your tithe money and went out here and bought a gold toilet seat that was $50,000. When they be saying that, I be sitting there like, I really be wanting to have that Dr. Dre, you know, I mean that Ed Lover. Come on, son. What you talking about? Come on, son. What you talking about, son? Come on, son. What you talking about, son? I'm telling you, every time somebody say that, there needs to be an Ed Lover. Somebody need to have an Ed Lover meme pop up. What you talking about, son? Come on, son. Get up out of here with all that. I'm telling you, man, it sound good. It sound good, but you can tell that people who say that, they are not inclined to any type of business or organization. I'm talking about being thorough with their business, all right? And organization. When they say crazy stuff like that, yeah, man, they took them. I mean, come on, man, for real, stop this stuff. Okay, stop this stuff. All right. Here's the reason why folks be trying to take monies, or reason why a lot of people, when they get into ministry, especially a lot of like pastors and stuff like that, is they create a separate ministry. So it'd be like maybe a separate. You can have a for-profit too. So say for instance, if I say William Brown Ministries, okay, this is separate from B.O.O.M. Okay, William Brown Ministries. It's a income positive ministry, meaning that whatever I take in, I pay taxes on. You can have that set up like that. You can have it set up to where it doesn't have to be tax exempt. All right. It could be set up to where it is properly understood that every coin that I bring in, or every time I go out and speak or teach or something like that, I am going to pay taxes on that money. Okay. So then I can also have William Brown Ministries tax exempt. So every money that comes in, I can take that money and use it for my traveling expenses, which is monies that is separate from the church expenses. Okay, so I can have that set up. It all depends on how you want to do it. But to sit up here and be like, nah, man. Or if I want to create a company, like I have like a record company or something like that, which is for profit. Okay, it could be a ministry for profit. So therefore, if I want to have my own television show, if I want to have all these other things, it could be for profit and I pay tax on it. So therefore, when I go out here and buy me a house, y'all think because I'm a pastor that I'm eating off the people. Well, no, I'm out here paying taxes on stuff, okay, that I'm doing my duty. I am honoring the laws of the land, okay, paying taxes on stuff that I've bought, all right, and therefore, I go out and spend my money. It's no different than you working on a job. You pay taxes on your job. Don't nobody tell you what to go out here and buy. But because you think that because I'm a pastor that I'm eating off the people. No, that has nothing to do with it. I'm totally separate from that. I can't do that according to the IRS. Okay, now here's another thing though. Now, I could, if the ministry and the board, okay, if the board says and agrees to me being the pastor having a salary, that is a different conversation. All right. That is a different conversation. All right. You can be a pastor and have salary. And many, to be honest with you, there's a whole lot of pastors that's out here that do get a salary, but their salary might be like $20,000 a year, $30,000 a year, $10,000 a year, $5,000 a year. Okay. $500 a year. All right, which many of them still have to work. That's why a lot of cats write books. That's why a lot of cats create, all like different conferences or different things of that nature that is for profit that they paying taxes on, because they understand, they know that the salary or what they get from the church. And oftentimes there are a lot of pastors that don't ask for a salary. Some pastors been pastoring for like 10, 15 years without a salary, still work a 9 to 5. But yet the people in the congregation feel as though, man, pastor been serving. He's done all these things. He's labored. He's been there for us, all this stuff. And they decide to come up with and say, listen, we got to do something. We got to give pastor a salary, okay, or give him something. All right. So oftentimes the salary comes up. It is because the board decided to do that, which is not the pastor didn't really have anything to do with that. He working 9 to 5. Okay. I still got a job. All right. I'm not taking no salary from our church, okay? But at the same time, I understand the practical things in life that I can't solely depend upon, okay? I can't depend upon saying the congregation. I need to go out here and make stuff happen for myself in my personal life, all right, for my family. So therefore, if I come up with an idea and sell it to a corporation and the corporation buy it for $200 million, y'all can't get mad if I want to go out here and buy me a house for $2 million. Okay. I done sold this thing for $200 million and I go buy me a $2 million house. I paid taxes on this. The Most High gave me the idea to come up with this invention, which had nothing to do with the congregation. Okay. So we have to really get an understanding of that. Let's see what, Brother Kenneth is saying here. CPA there is a difference between tax avoidance, legal, right, versus tax evasion. illegal / sinful. Nothing wrong with setting up the right structure. Teach. Absolutely, Brother Kenneth. And I'm going to have Brother Kenneth on here, man. I'm going to try to get him on next week. All right. So we can like really get into this even more because he's more knowledgeable than I am and whatnot. So, but let's look at this right here, y'all. Let's deal with this. All right. 2 types of funds. So you have restricted funds and you have unrestricted funds. All right. And after we do this, I'm going to do one more and we're going to be up out of here. And then I'm going to talk about why they are not teaching or what you feel as though they should be teaching, because that's the key. You think that that's what they should be teaching. Okay. So let's get that understood. That is very important to understand what you think that they should be doing. All right. Don't mean that's what God say that they should be doing. All right. So let's look at this. Restricted funds, unrestricted funds. These are funds that are set aside for a particular purpose. Sometimes it's temporarily restricted, meaning that the restriction could end due to the specific time limit or more likely by the completion of a project, such as a construction of a facility. Funds that are permanently restricted are usually meant to be saved and invest in an endowment fund. The interest earnings of which can be used for a particular activity or general operation. All right. And restricted means restricted. Restricted means restricted. Let's keep reading. This is not a trivial matter. Donors can take legal action against a nonprofit that it believes is misusing restricted donations. The last thing your charity wants is to be in the crossfire of the Attorney General's office. All right. So guess what? You're telling me you think it ain't nobody up. Let's be real with this. Come on, man. Let's stop acting. Okay, let's be real. What I need y'all to stop acting as though these people dumb. Okay, stop doing this, man. Okay, everybody that's in a Christian church ain't stupid. Okay, let me say that again. There are people sitting in the church that are watching what's going on with the money. I'm telling y'all right now, there are Christian folk that sit up in the church that's watching what's going on with the money, and they will report you behind. You can be, let me say, you don't have to come out and go to the IRS and say, you know what? My pastor taking the money from the church and he using the money from the church, and therefore I need y'all to go get them and check the books. And then the IRS gonna say, hey, look, we got a call from a Beverly Gibson, Sister Beverly Gibson. They're not gonna say that. The IRS can run up in your junk and by an anonymous tip, or an anonymous person can cause it. I do not want you to be identified, but I think they are misappropriating the money. I think they're stealing the money, and I think the pastor is using it for his personal gain. You know what's going to happen? The IRS going to say, oh, really? What church is this? And they're going to say, such, 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 such. And you know what? They're going to plan it out, and they're going to pop up unannounced based off an anonymous call. They don't have to give your name out. Generally, half the time, they don't give your name out. Okay? They don't give your name out. They run up in that mud. Hey, listen, we from the IRS, Internal Revenue Service. We need to see all your books right now, immediately. We need to see all. If you got a computer, we need to see your laptops. We need to see your hard drives. We need to see everything. So we need to check to make sure the funds are properly. How much money there was brought in last year? Okay, we see that there was $2 million brought in last year by tithes and offerings. Okay, we see some purchases right here that are suspect. We need to see what these purchases, where were these purchases at? Where are the receipts for this? They gonna grill your behind to death. Okay, I tell you what, if y'all think somebody misappropriate money, why don't y'all call somebody? You think Creflo Dollar stealing money? Call the IRS. You think any of these pastors stealing money? Call the IRS and let them run up over there. Okay, because they will run up over there. All right. If you think Joyce Myers or anybody, all right, anybody, I don't care who it is. If you think they are misappropriating money, why don't you run up over there? Run up over there. That's what I'm telling you. That's all I'm telling you. Okay. Let's look at this right here. All right. Unrestricted funds. As the name suggests, unrestricted funds don't have springs attached, and may be used by the nonprofit for whatever purpose it deems necessary. See that? Listen to that. Unrestricted funds. Let's keep reading. As the name suggests, unrestricted funds don't have strings attached and may be used by the nonprofit for whatever purpose it deems necessary. This money typically goes towards normal operating costs, lights, water, and all that kind of stuff. All right. So how does money get restricted? It is critical to point out that only a donor can restrict funds. For that reason, it is absolutely essential that a nonprofit understand how soliciting donations impact whatever money is restricted or unrestricted. Okay, so let's deal with that right now. All right. So now you got to understand of that. So let's deal with this. All right. Why do you think? So we already done killed this whole thing about they're not teaching, heritage because of, 501c3. Beloved, here's the issue. Some people are not teaching it because they don't believe in it. They just don't believe in it. It's just the bottom line. That's what it is. Some people are not teaching it because they just don't believe in the doctrine of it. They don't believe in the doctrine. It ain't got nothing to do with no 501c3. They just don't believe in the doctrine. I don't care how much information you show them, they not going to teach it because they believe that that's not doctrinally correct. And they got every right to believe that. It ain't got nothing to do because they got a 501c3. All right. It's just that they believe that it's not doctrinally correct. It don't fit their ministry, and therefore they're not going to do it. They're not going to teach it. It's just what it is. Second of all, you have folks who not deep enough to teach it. You have some folks who haven't studied long enough to teach it. It ain't that they're not going to ever teach it. Sometimes, like I have some brothers and sisters who are pastors, they call me. They call me. And they tell their congregation, I'm not well versed in this. I believe in it, but I'm not well versed enough to teach it. So that's why I brought Pastor Brown in to talk about it. That way he can give you balance and clarity and make sure that you got the proper information. All right. But I believe in it, but I'm not solid enough and I haven't done the research enough and I don't have all the answers. All right. Or for the questions that you're going to have to teach it. These are the two main areas and reasons why people aren't teaching what you think that they should teach. And thirdly, some people just ain't called to teach it, man. This is the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? They will never do it. But God is so awesome to where he have people out here, okay, that will, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what they're called to. So it's very important for us to get an understanding of that. I hope this message helped you. I hope this information really helped you. I hope the information was solid, brought clarity. So that way, next time you hear somebody talking about they ain't, somebody not teaching the heritage because of a 501c3, I hope y'all really got an understanding of this. Again, you can go on the website. You can go on the government website and anything you need to know about 501c3s and all that type of stuff, which has zero to do with doctrine. It has nothing to do with doctrine. All right. It has nothing to do with doctrine. All right. So that's the thing. We got to really get an understanding, man. Operating our lanes. If this not your lane and you don't have the thorough information, stop throwing stuff out here because you're causing a lot of our brothers and sisters to bear false witness about some things. And I mean, we got to do better. We have to do better, man. Okay, we have to do better so that we can get a thorough understanding of what's going on. So I hope this really helped you. I hope it's really blessed you. Do your thorough research before you spew out stuff. Okay, please do that. All right. I make sure that I do as much thorough research as I can to bring forth information practically, because I understand it's a practical element to this world, but I also understand the spirit. And I know biblically we have to make sure that we study the same way. Okay. Let's see here, Brother Kenneth CPA. All right. PC, I'm sorry. Let's see here. Government is not concerned on doctrine, only use and management of funds. Great teacher. Hey, absolutely, Kenneth. Again, like I say, man, we're going to have you on here, man, because I really want you to go more in depth than I did. You know what I'm saying? I'm just one who try to do, you know, as much research as I can. Make sure I got all the I's dotted and the T's crossed and the commas and exclamation points and question marks hit properly. You know, you won this that's your lane. You know how to function in this. So what better way, you know, to have somebody who knows the ins and outs of this thing, so that our people can get some complete information and stop spewing out all kind of YouTube, Facebook craziness. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna hit you up, man. We're gonna try to get you on this week. I'll say next week, but this week. And we'll talk about it, man, so we can be able to bring people some clarity and information. All right, man. Shalom to you all, man. Y'all have a great and wonderful day.